to part 2 of the video. I'm going to start off actually doing comparisons just to some of the other box sets before I get into the final kind of review and ideas or thoughts of the 5th edition set. So I'm going to start off here with the 3.0 adventure game. Came out in 2000, shortly or alongside the player's handbook, and it's just you know, the front and back of the box here. It's actually, as you can see, it's a much thinner box, so they didn't have any extra space. They just kind of filled it up with everything they did, and it filled the box up nicely. So it had pre-made characters, and they were based off the iconics. So they had Miley, Lita, Jozan, Regdar, Null, never really got any use outside of this, I believe, and Tordak. So each of these characters were pre-made, first level, and they have just pictures of the dice that came with the set. I no longer have the actual dice, and I'll explain that momentarily, but these are what they look like, the colors, and each one kind of describes what it is. This one also included a blank character sheet, and there were some basic rules on how to create a character if you wanted to in the rulebook, which is black and white, 32 pages long, and then there was a 45-page adventure book, which had 5 separate adventures that all used this map here, which is the dungeon. Got a lot of use out of this over the years. The dungeon's used in 5 different configurations for each of the adventures. The last one actually uses the entire thing, so really great. The other side is just a blank grid, and then there's some tokens that they gave you, 2 different sheets worth, and they have all the different monsters and characters. They're, you know, labeled on one side, and then you have some ones there for treasure chests, objects, and open and closed doors. There's some of the object ones there, some pitfalls, and just a little read this first, just, you know, pick who's the players, who's the dungeon master, and what each one of the roles is. So anyway, that's the 3rd edition adventure game. So you know, for the price that it was and the time that it came out, it was, you know, really definitely a good buy. So got a lot of use out of that. And here we have the 3.5 basic game. This is the most expensive set of all the ones that I own. The retail price is no longer on it, unfortunately, but it cost me, I believe, around $45 after tax Canadian. And with this one, you got the nice large box there. The advanced rulebook, which is 64 pages long, works as both the rulebook and the adventure book. There's the quick start rules for the player characters, just a little pamphlet. And then there's the first adventure book, which is just, I think, a single encounter that they have with some kobolds, the map configuration that you use, and the characters themselves. There's only 4 in this one. Regdar and Lita make their returns, and then you have Eberk, the dwarf cleric, and then Aramil, the elven sorcerer. And similar design of the sheets. They have the dice at the bottom. This one has the percentile dice, and this is what they look like here. This is not the set that actually came with this box set. I gave that away as well. The reason for it is that they match exactly what they did for the re-release of the 30th edition dice that I showed you in my first video. And there's just the read first, little survey. And this one here had actually some stat cards for use in the D&D minis game. The reason for that is it used these cardboard tiles that were double-sided, and minis reproduced from the D&D mini line. So there's the black dragon, and some things there, some kobolds, a rat, skeletons, a couple of orcs, and then the characters, Regdar, Eberk, Aramil, and Lita there. And this was a nice set, but again, it was quite expensive. This came out for 3.5, but for the minis, for the dice, and the things that you got, you know, it was still decently priced. So you got quite a bit in this box set. And here we are with the 4th edition Essentials D&D starter set. This is the main one I kind of want to compare the 5th edition set to, for reasons I'll get into in a moment. But if you look at the box art, it's just the reproduction of the original basic rules, red box from back in the day, including even the original logo. The back, like most of them, just show kind of the contents, a little bit of a blurb, kind of setting the story. And the retail price for this was $19.99 US and $23.99 Canadian. So it's the exact same price as the 5th edition set, and that's significant for a few reasons I'll get into here shortly. Included are 4 full-color blank character sheets. With these sheets here, you actually filled them out by going through the player's book, and there's a solo adventure in there. that is a tutorial basically, a choose your own adventure / tutorial for filling out the character sheet. And then there is the DM's book, the Dungeon Master's book, which just continues the adventure, as well as sort of more in-depth rules. There is a download for another solo adventure if you wanted to go through that, as well as a fold-out double-sided map for the adventure contained herein, both those books. Some punch-out tokens, there was a sheet of them for the different monsters, player character possibilities, and a trap that you see in the dungeon itself, as well as this here set of cards, which you use for all the different abilities. They're actually blank, you can fill them in with your bonuses and your damage and stuff like that. An advertisement there just for the D&D Essentials, and a set of dice here, just basic black dice with white numbering. So this is the one, like I said, I want to talk about the most, where it is the same price as the 5th edition set, to sort of compare what you get in one versus the other. Alright, it is moment of truth time for the starter set. Do I recommend it, yes or no? Before I get into that, I'm just going to go over the pros and cons of this. So first of all, the artwork is absolutely amazing, more of a realistic look. Previous editions had more of a cartoony and sometimes anime look to it. So I definitely like this change to a more realistic look. The dice itself are very nice. I like the fact that there's more of a design to them versus just the flat colors that the previous ones had, or just the basic black dice that was in the 4th edition set. The starter set, the rulebook is fine. For a quick reference, the adventure is really well written, and I do look forward to running it at some point. And the characters themselves are nicely designed, so I don't really have any problems with any particular character. So that's kind of the positives about it. The negatives are, for as much box space as you get, half of it is taken up by this insert. Originally, when I looked at the insert, I thought, okay, so the map and stuff must be underneath. And the reason I thought that is if you look on the back here, even though it's not listed, it looks like there's, map here, and there's a map up here that actually is gridded off. So I don't know how well that's going to show up. So I was really expecting something. There is a line of D&D minis coming out around the same time I think that this releases, so there would have been a good chance to cross-promote it with that. And the fact that there's no ability to make characters yourself out of the box without downloading the PDF is also a little bit disappointing. Even if it was just a very bare bones, this is what you get for first level. If you want to make anything above that, then consult the sheets that you have. Would have been nice because they do give you a blank sheet. All in all, the fact that the price is the same as the 4th edition set, and the 4th edition set felt like it had so much more, and it kind of disappoints me a little bit. I bought this as a collector because box sets are very difficult to get later on. So from that perspective, it was worth it. I got mine online because there's no local game shop in my area. So it only cost me $16 to get, actually, which was fine. For that price, I can definitely deal with it. All in all, I give this sort of like a 50% rating if I were to give it a percentage. It's nice for what it is, but I think the price is a little high for the things that you're not getting versus the previous set. I actually recommend, if you're not looking to jump in right away and begin playing 5th edition now, then waiting for the player's handbook, to come out and starting then. So for collectors and enthusiasts that really want to just jump right in, it's something that you're going to end up getting anyway. For the rest of the people out there, honestly, I think you may want to wait and just get the hardcover books, because you'll have a lot more information in there, and the books are, in my opinion, always nicer than looking at a PDF on a computer screen. But that's just my opinion. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching. Like and comment if you wish. I look forward to reading all the comments if there are going to be any. So that's my video. Thank you very much for watching, YouTube.